So what can I say to you? But I'm off that, had to fall back. You got everybody thinking I'm all bad. You know the truth. I was always holding you down. You down. Baby. What is this for this girl? What is love? What is love? But even if it's so.
What's good, everybody? What it do, man? This is your boy, North End Floyd. This is the Kickback Podcast. This is episode 182. And, man, this is a very important. It's probably, I've been having a lot of important podcasts lately, but as far as city-wise, this is very important for the city, I feel. I have a very important guest, Mr. Kenneth William. How you doing, Mr. Kenneth William?
I'm doing great, Floyd. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. Like I said earlier, I was a little nervous that you was, things happen, people get busy. So, I was a little slightly nervous that, something might have popped up.
We're getting ready for the weather and stuff. So I had some last minute conversations I needed to have, but thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, that's what's up. Are you used to the snow?
I'm not used to the snow, but I got just enough over in Central Texas, believe it or not. And that winter storm Uri in 21 was, I think, much rougher than over here. So just a little bit, but I can live without it too.
Okay, so where are you from?
I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas. I moved here from Beaumont, where I was city manager, but I'm from Lufkin, Texas. I'm in East Texas. Yeah, boy, I was born and raised in East Texas. From Lufkin, Texas. Went to high school in Lufkin, Texas. Lufkin Panther that played the Beaumont Port Arthur School, same district this year. Went from there to Stephen F. Austin University and later on to master's degree.
There's Brian from Lufkin, huh?
Oh yeah. There's is one of our bright spots there.
Okay. You a Cowboy fan or no?
No, I don't want to alienate anybody. I'm an old school Raider fan.
Okay, all right,
yeah. So I go back with them a long way. So I'll just play it safe and say I'm a Raider fan.
Okay, yeah. I mean, hey, man, y'all not doing too well either. So I guess we understand.
No, you gotta like them. So
yeah.
I like them, but I hope the Texans win this weekend too.
Yeah, Texans do play, man. They fans give me a hard time, man. So it's kind of hard for me to say right now. But hey, good luck for them. We'll get them one day. So.
Yeah, that was a time when y'all got them all the time. So
yeah, I'm trying to get them days back, man.
Yeah, they'll be back.
Okay, so what's a typical day for you as city manager?
It's a busy day. City management and being a city manager is a 24/7 operation. It's you're never off basically. Even when you go home, the phone's going to ring on something, because you deal with all of the department, all the city. Mm-hmm. You deal with the police department, fire department, street department. And so there's something likely to go on at all times. But basically, get to work in the morning, approximately around 8 o'clock or so. Of course, things are waiting for me on my desk. I like to plan out my night before, kind of give it a list of things I'm going to work on the next morning. It makes me much more productive when I do that, and I like doing that. Talk with staff up here, then start getting to work on different projects. And once every 2 weeks, I have a directors meeting with all the directors of the city. And we sit down and strategize and talk about what we're going to do. But it starts about 8, and usually I'm working till probably 7:30.
Okay. You pulling 12 hours a day, so.
Yeah, in the office. I like to be able to do things. I like to return all phone calls by the end of the day. That's a pet peeve of mine. So sometimes I will call somebody after 5 and apologize but that's the time I have to make those phone calls and answer emails. So when the rest of the staff goes away.
So I mean, like because your job, man, you wear like a lot of different hats, man. What inspired you to to get into public administrations? Like that was something you always just dreamed about or whatever?
No, I didn't dream about it. You know, usually if you see a city manager, you probably talking to somebody who thought they were going to be a lawyer, a doctor one day,
Okay.
and then we ended up being city managers, which is a noble profession. It's a
Mhm.
really nice profession. But I just ended up working for a city, the city of Lufkin, where I was born and raised. I went to work for them. I wanted to be a fireman. Took the fireman's test and was right that close to becoming a fireman, but then didn't get hired into it. But so I went to work. I really started out at the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, I say bottom. I started out as an inspector with the city,
Hmm.
and I worked through the organization with the city of Lufkin. And 18 and a half years later, when I left there, I was an assistant city manager.
Okay. So you worked so you actually really did work your way from the bottom.
Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I started out in code enforcement. Got to running the department, ran the community development department. Later became a public works director and emergency management coordinator while there, and all the way to assistant city manager in that town until I decided to go out on my own and become a city manager.
Like so being a city manager, is that something like as far as like relocating, is that something hard from you? Because you said you from Lufkin, then you went to Buda, which is, did I say that right? Because that's right there by Austin, right?
Yes, Buda,
Buda.
just like Buda.
Buda. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then Beaumont. So
yeah.
uh, so that's just something you just gotta live with as far as you gotta travel.
Right, right. If you want to become a city manager, you have to be willing to relocate because there's only one in each town.
Yeah,
There's no other city manager in whatever city or town you're living in. So you've got to go to another city to get that job. Likewise, there's no other person in that job to talk to in your city. And you have to network outside of your city. But yeah, you have to move. You have to be willing to move. I've worked with
mhm.
four different cities, Lufkin, and became city manager of Diboll, Texas.
Okay.
And left there at Diboll, Texas, became city manager of Buda, Texas, and then city manager here in Beaumont.
Was it hard for you to leave Buda?
I really liked it.
Hmm.
I mean, Central Texas and the Austin area
Man, I
is,
love it.
oh, yeah, I love it. The quality of life is awesome.
Yeah.
It's right there. It was right there at the foot of the hill
Hmm.
country. I was 20 minutes from downtown Austin,
Yeah.
45 minutes from San Antonio. It was awesome. Pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been through there a few times, man. I just love the area in general. As far as Central Texas, it's good for like outdoors if you like sports and hiking and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah, it's a lot to do without spending money.
yeah, for sure.
You can go outdoors, you can walk, and my wife and I, we took a lot of day trips. We go right out to
Hmm.
Fredericksburg or Wimberley or Johnson City. It was always nice little outings like that.
Yeah. So when you talk to different departments, how do you prioritize the needs for different departments like within the city?
Well, that's a good question because those priorities change. Of course, there are some things that are always there. Some things cities have to do, and some things cities don't have to do, but we do. You have to provide water, to your
Hmm.
citizens. You provide garbage pickup to your citizens. Public safety, police, fire, and some things like planning
Hmm.
or even parks are things that you provide, but people could survive without them.
Yeah.
Uh, but you still have to sit down and make those priorities. I meet with those directors and we talk about those priorities. But what happened when I first got here? Sat down with City Council, brought in a consultant, and we put together a strategic plan that identified the priorities of the city and
Yeah.
prioritized those for the City Council and staff. And so based upon that document, which we created a 15-year strategic plan, which was in 5, 10, 15-year increments.
Mhm.
We developed our priorities.
Oh, okay. Now, you said as far as like the city has plans. Do y'all have any plans for this weather coming up as far as the snow? Because people out here can't drive when it comes to like the ice and all that. So,
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of plans. Staff has been working really hard. Our emergency management coordinator, Shay Nobles, has been working nonstop the last couple of days and working with uh, the police department and fire department and other city staff that help respond to that.
mhm.
I've been looking at getting messaging out. Work with our communications department, and they've sent out several messages. And there'll be messaging going out during the entire time. We'll see. We'll probably be standing up the Emergency Operations Center
Okay.
over the weekend as things go by. So it's been quite the planning going in to get ready for this winter weather event.
Yeah, because I just seen Greg Boschwick, um, the local weatherman in this area, and he's saying that it can be like the second highest as far as snow that we seen in this area. So, we usually see like just little white stuff on the ground, ice or
Yeah,
whatever. So this right here might be an experience for a lot of a good experience or bad for a lot of people.
yeah. So you just used to a little dusting. They call it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we get a little.
But if Greg's saying it, hey, we better get doubly ready. Sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. If
Mhm.
Greg's saying, Greg his word pretty good out here. So, but
Yeah.
like you said, like y'all put a plan together, like you as far as 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years implements and stuff. So, what do you think like are the like let's see like top two priorities for the city within the next 5 years? You think?
Well, and just looking at the next 5 year part of that plan, the number one thing is just making Beaumont a great place to live.
Hmm.
And providing an excellent quality of life. It's kind of like that hill country thing we talk about. You have that
Yeah.
feel good thing, that good quality of life out there. Number two was making a financially sound city,
Hmm.
and provide excellent services to the community in doing that, for sure. The riverfront was a priority, a
Hmm.
vibrant downtown and riverfront, which will be opening the riverfront in a few weeks.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, and
Okay.
it's really nice. I went and walked it last week, and uh, I have a thing. I'm a old Mark Twain fan, so
Okay.
walking that riverfront really felt great, and I think our citizens are gonna
Hmm.
love it out there.
Yeah, the riverfront has been down for a long time.
Yeah, some years I understand it. It's
Yeah.
for some years, but it's going to be really nice, and we are excited about it opening again. And we look at it like it's going to be a destination, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
where people can come to visit. But we look at things like that too. But we also as a part of that 5 year plan, we were looking at our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Have good livable neighborhoods, and old parts of town and new parts of town.
Yeah.
So we want that to spread, and then look at upgrade city facilities, then make sure our infrastructure is great. Make sure our water systems in good shape, our sewer systems improved, and streets.
Terry Roy, he's actually running for councilman in Ward 3. He had a question. He said, "Has Beaumont been more challenging than you imagine, or it's just normal?"
Well, Beaumont has been a challenge. It's really been a challenge. You have a lot of things going on. People in Beaumont tend to look at it as a small town with
Mhm.
small town problems because people often want to compare it to Houston, which is a
Yeah.
tremendously large city. But you have a good sized city here with lots of infrastructure. With a lot of things to work on. With people, 115,000 people or so to
Mhm.
deal with it, but not only in Beaumont, but the surrounding area, and people live in those areas, and they come into Beaumont every day.
Yeah.
So it's been a challenge for sure, but we have the resources to deal with that challenge. You know, we have the people, you have the organization, you have the community here to deal with it.
Mhm.
And if it were not challenging, something would be wrong. You know, things would not be happening. That means it's a little bit stale.
Yeah.
So I think the challenge can be good for a city.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. A lot of people do vision Beaumont as a small town, but I mean,
Mhm.
you are right. I mean, like it's 115,000 people, and a lot of people come to the city within, like, you got Needland, Port Arthur,
Mhm.
Port Nature's, Lumberton, all come to the city to work or shop and do all those other things. So, I mean, yeah, you are right about that part. As far as the people, um, how can residents' voices be heard as far as like in this the decision making process? Because a lot of people like to, I ain't gonna say complain, but they suggest a lot of things or whatever. So do y'all kind of implement that as far as y'all decision making?
Of course, that's an important part of decision making and getting feedback from the public. You know, we have ways of doing that. Of course, social media is always there for people to provide feedback. People come to our city council meetings
Hmm.
and they express their uh, concerns. I don't like to call them problems.
Yeah.
I like concerns or issues. That's their issues. There's not a complaint. It's something that really, it's important to them. So it's important that we respond to those things. Having communications directly with this uh, staff members, all people. And we're looking at one of our council members, AJ Turner, came up with an idea to where we could get uh, this financial software where people could look at some of our issues and be able to move dollars around to say
Oh,
this
really?
is what I'd like to do, you know, and you can and we'll be able to see those things acted out through the public. It's a great tool for feedback to the city on what's important, and we're constantly looking at new ways to get feedback. We just implemented an AI policy, you know, put together an AI committee
Mhm.
where we have chat bots. So even if a person's not available to talk to you, we'll still be able to get that feedback from you and gain information from you.
Yeah. Shamanika Moses says, has it? It's almost the same question, but she
Mhm.
said, has it been difficult for you being a city manager and trying to move the community forward?
Uh, it's I guess it's as I said, it's been a challenge, but it's been no more difficult than any other city. You know, I think Beaumont being it's the regional hub for Southeast Texas,
Mhm.
and so sometimes we want to make it something else, like I said, but it's the regional hub to where people go and come and shop and they come and spend their money and get the things that they need for sure. So it hasn't been more difficult than any other city. Every city has issues. Every city has unique problems, but typically most of them have the same issues, the same things that they need to work on.
Mhm. Miss Kayla Moore said a digital suggestion box. That thing might get full quick.
We would have to check it frequently.
Yeah, y'all might have to get somebody to. That might be a job, particularly for one person, is to check the digital suggestion box.
Yeah, but we could do it with that AI
Yeah.
and chat bot and things like that. It could look at those suggestions.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's. Another question is, what are some of the biggest challenges the city is currently facing, and how are you addressing them?
Well, we are again infrastructure. I'll start with infrastructure. You know, we have Beaumont is an older city, so you have older water lines, you have older sewer lines, and so we've had some issues in different parts of town with blockages of backup in sewer.
Mhm.
So we've been working and continuing to work to replace, identify, fix problems, things that are causing those things. So the infrastructure and getting water. Water hasn't been a big deal until lately. I guess last year we had a drought, one of the
Yep.
first anybody can remember
Hmm.
for sure on there. And then public safety. Public safety is important. It's a thing that we have to work on as a city. We're continuing to work. Our police department works diligently and works hard to get things done. But also our citizens. It's important to them, and it's a priority for me as a manager and staff and city council. So we got the real-time crime center in place, which
Hmm.
has really helped in dealing with crime in our city and making the city much more safer.
What exactly is that crime center? Because I seen the police, they talk about it, but can you explain it? Because I remember they had an incident at a particular gas station where something happened, and then the police said they used the crime center to kind of help depict the people in it. So I mean,
Mhm.
what exactly is that? Is it just one spot that the city focus on, or is it all throughout the city?
It's like a mission control. We have this workspace at room that with all many monitors, television sets,
Hmm.
and we tap into cameras all over town. The city has cameras that we tap into. People can even register their camera, sign them up to where it can be monitored. Businesses can sign. We have an agreement with the Beaumont Independent School District for their cameras. We have an agreement with Lamar uh, University for their cameras. And what happened, these cameras we're picking up these cameras all over town, and our real-time crime center workers can monitor these cameras and see things happening. They can monitor crime areas. They're public areas. We're not going into private areas. There's not a privacy concern. But if someone has registered their camera and it's in a place we need to view, we can just get online and look at what's going on in that area.
So you saying we can register our camera like a Ring camera? You can register.
Well, Ring doesn't work with it. It's a
Okay.
little more sophisticated than Ring, but if you have the right camera system, actually there's a place you can go online onto our website, the police website, to
Hmm.
look to register, and it'll help you register and figure out if it's something you can do. But
Okay.
we encourage all citizens to look and see if they can get their camera system registered because it helps tremendously. In my neighborhood, we had some people getting some packages off porches, and we had cameras in there. And I was able to share some of my cameras with our police department. And before the guys left the neighborhood, our police department had them.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. As far as like, if you want to help in a certain kind of way where they can kind of use your camera if something happened in the neighborhood and stuff like that, and probably don't really be involved, kind of, because a lot of people don't like to be involved, but that's the
Right.
way they could be involved, but kind of be out the way.
It's a great way to do something again and not be involved and have to give your name in
Yeah.
public or be seen doing something because either it can be viewed or sometimes you can just capture video or pictures off of it and you can just send it in to the department.
Yeah. Okay. So, as far as disagreements within, let's say, between city council members, because I know it happens as far as voting for particular things or stuff. How do y'all handle the conflict? Because people was seeing, let's say, like a police chief, they seen like conflict within as far as voting wise and stuff like that. So, I mean, how do y'all handle that as far as like when you see that happen?
Yeah, and that's part of government. Everybody has their job to do and an opinion to do, so it's part of government. And in Beaumont, we're a council manager form of government, where the city manager runs the day-to-day operations of the city, and does most of the hiring of positions in the city, and likewise firing. But city council sets policy, set laws, ordinances, and provide that vision, and the city manager enforces it. Now, there are some things that the city manager will be able to do, but there are some things that the city council has to approve it. And even when council has their own ideas, there's going to be a difference of opinion. People are different, their points of view are different, their backgrounds are different. So their demographical backgrounds are different. So they're going to have differences. For they are able to work through those issues, debate them. At some point, if it requires it, have a vote on it and see how you're going to go forward. But you've got to be respect the other person's opinion. We're not going to always agree. But that doesn't mean we have to get mad at each other and fall out. We just agree to disagree. In my case, and even with the police chief thing, the city manager got to a point, but the city council had to approve it. So I respected my appointment, but I respect council's ability in how they approve. And council manager form of government, you just got to be able to understand and respect each one's role in that process.
Yeah, as far as the police and the police chief, I know a lot of people have been saying as far as the police having like more diversity within the department. Do you think it's a way we can kind of fix that as far as satisfying the community as far as seeing more diversity?
Well, yeah, that's always a goal in a community, because again, you have the different people with the different opinions, different demographics that you have to interact with. So it's good to be able to interact with people that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so it's important that there's diversity in a city and the ability to do that. When I got here, I had those conversations with the existing chief at the time, Singletary, and that was their goal. They advertised to get, diversity on the department, and they were working at doing that. Are we where we should be? The fire department has a bit of a gap there that needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
But it's certainly something that we're having conversations about and things that we would like to improve upon. There are opportunities for the community. We have a cadet class. If there are young people that want to come and go to work in that cadet class, they can start getting paid just for going to the cadet class and get out and become a police officer, that starts out at $75,000 a year, or they can go out and go to the fire department and become a fire. We have a program where we're working with the school district to where basically when kids get out of high school, they can go straight into the fire department and make that kind of money. So there are opportunities there. We'd love to find, all kids, all people, and participate in those departments.
Yeah, I always say, like as far as the complaining goes, as far as I'm not gonna say complaining, but as far as people have issues within the city, the police department, I would say go apply for the police department. It pays good. It's a good career, benefits, retirement. You can't beat that. So, I would like to see a lot of more people from the community get involved as far as like criminal justice field itself.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head. It's a career. It's something that you can make good money for at that time. You're able to operate within the community, but then too, at some point in your life, you're building up pensions that will pay you for the rest of your life. You don't have to worry about working when I'm old, because hey, I've had a career at the fire department, I've had a career at the police department, and now I can retire and, and sometimes that's 50 years old for those departments and live really well the rest of your life.
Okay, Miss Carly, she had a lot of questions. I'm not trying to ignore you, Carly. Well, her questions been long. You've been having some long paragraph questions. But she said, is there anyone above the city manager since the charter was changed last vote?
No, the charter didn't change that. The city council is above the city manager as a
Okay.
group. There's 7 persons, the mayor and the city council, and they hired the city manager, basically. And but there's no other person. The city manager is the highest ranked official in the city. Now with this council, this council hires 4 positions. They hire the city manager, they hire the city clerk, they hire the city attorney, and they hire the chief magistrate, who's the judge. So they hire for all 4 positions, but there's not a person above, I guess, either one of those positions, except the entire city council.
Mm-hmm. How do you think people can get how do you think people can make a positive impact within the city?
Hey, get involved. There are great things out there to do. Get involved and see where you can help. Everybody's got a skill. Everybody's good at something. These young guys I talk to is like, man, as smart as you are, you could be running a corporation.
Yeah.
So get involved, see what you can do, talk to your elected officials, see where they need help. Find out what they need help on. They need people to serve on boards. They need people to serve on commissions, and they have to make those appointments every year, basically. And they need somebody to help. You can volunteer. Just connect with people, talk with them, and find out where you can help out.
As far as that, I know I kind of want to revert back to that, but the long-term vision for the city, because I know you say you have 15 years plans. What's a long-term goal for the city?
Well, I guess, again, some of the same ones that we talked about with the 5-year, 10-year, but a little bit more. But, again, make sure that we have proper infrastructure, because that infrastructure's got to be here, provide services forever, and make sure that we invest properly to be able to afford that, to make sure that we are financially viable long term. We have some things in place now where we are looking to make the city stronger financially. Because we want it to be able to have a higher bond rating, to where we can get borrow money at a cheaper rate, to have proper fund reserves, fund balances out there to where we have the dollars that the bonding agencies, rating agencies look at and say, hey, you're sound city. But you've got to make sure at some point that you're not just storing money that taxpayers could have in their pocket. And you got to make sure you put in it to use and you put in it to work. So it's a balancing act and being able to do that. So that long-term thing, and one is, again, another one, downtown revitalization. It's more, it's not going to happen overnight. Typically, it takes about 5 years. I've been when I was in Lufkin. When I was there, first got there, the downtown, the occupancy, rate was 38% of the buildings were occupied. If you go there now, probably 99% of the buildings are occupied. It just takes time to go in there and do that, and it's a joint effort. Right now we're doing some code enforcement efforts. That's a good start. But we've got to be able to provide resources or identify resources that property owners can go to and say, hey, can I get assistance with my building? Will the state help me do something? Or offer design work. We've just got to be able to do our part too, and get in downtown, revitalize.
I know they had plans of bringing a hotel downtown. Is that still the goal?
Yeah, that's a big topic. That's something we want to really advance this year. We've done a couple of public meetings, charrettes, and had discussion and received feedback from the public on that. And it's the city hasn't had a first class hotel in some time.
Yeah.
And so, for us to get to that next step, we've got to get a quality hotel, and we like to have it in the downtown area.
Yeah. I think that's.
Go
Not to
ahead.
cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think as far as when you go to a lot of, I know it's big cities and stuff, but when you go to these cities and their downtown is thriving, they have like a lot of hotels mixed in with restaurants and stuff. And my opinion, I think that's a good idea as far as bringing a hotel, because now you have people that's kind of staying downtown. So now they're looking and they're driving and they want to go to places, and now you can kind of build around that as far as businesses and restaurants, and you got Riverfront Park and stuff like that. So I think it all kind of goes hand in hand.
Exactly. I was in Savannah, Georgia, and I was staying in a hotel there on the river, and I could just walk right out of the hotel and to the riverfront, walk around along the riverfront, just like we have here in Beaumont going to have, and into the downtown area. And I didn't want to drive. That's like, this is great, walking along the river and seeing what's going on and going down here. But in doing that too, we like to refurbish our civic center into a convention center. We got a bill passed, House Bill 5012, whereby we get that done. We'll be able to take dollars from the state of Texas, some hot tax, sales tax dollars, not Beaumont's dollars, but the state's dollars, and used to help pay for that hotel. We're looking at different things because we understand that it's can be quite the task for the taxpayer. So we're looking at that. We created a tax increment reinvestment zone, a TERS too, that can help with those type of things. And so we are looking at economic development, another long-term thing, as not just using the same revenues and resources, but creating new resources and revenues to help do things like that, you know, to help improve property values without the city having to do it itself.
Miss Kayla, I'm not trying to say it wrong, but Miss Kayla Moore said, is there a city, is the city of Beaumont budget public information? And if so, where can it be found?
Yes, the budget, is public information. It's posted on our website. I'm pretty sure I'll verify that, but it's public, and we put it on our website. And we have to have copies in our libraries and public places like that. It's required that you have that, and we do that. You can come by City Hall and view a copy. You can go by the clerk's office and view copies, but we put them on our website so you can see it. We want to be transparent. We want to make that information available to every citizen who would like to see it. It's important that they be able to see those documents, those budget documents, for sure. You know, we're in the midst of putting information together for our next audit. Next audit should be completed around March at the latest. Our last audit was completed for the 2023 year. The audit runs about a year behind, so the 2024 year audit will be completed in February, March of this year. And we want people to review those documents, not just the budget, but as for the audit. Look at the city's audit and see what's in there and stuff.
As far as Miss Carla again, she's Miss Carly. She said, is it local? as far as the people that as far as the hotel, are they local as far as buying it or property owners?
Other property or local property owners. Well, we're not that far yet. We're not that far yet. We've city council has hired a firm to help put that plan together for us and how that's going to look. So we don't know if they'll be local. We want local people to contribute. It makes it much more amenable, more feasible for us as a city if we get local contributors, if we get Lamar University to say, well, commit to so many rooms a year, or ExxonMobil will say, we'll commit to so many rooms in a year. So we want local participation, and the companies going out having conversations with the local people about it. But right now, we don't know who that'll be. They're more likely there'll be a hotel firm involved in that process before it's over for the management and running of it. It typically works that way. But we want to be able to really get the report. We're doing a feasibility report on what that looks like. We don't want to get into that type of a project without having more information first. So we'll be doing a feasibility, a more in-depth feasibility feasibility report before we proceed.
Ms. Shayla Vincent, she said, back to public information, are the yearly performance reviews of department heads considered public information?
I don't think that's public information. Again, you can ask for it through a possible request, public information request. But a lot of personnel and human resources documents are not public. But I'm not saying it's not, but you can request for it, and our city clerk's office can tell you that.
Okay, look like you got a shout out from Miles Haynes. He ain't in the comments, but he told me that he texted me to say,
okay. Miles works with us. Miles does great work. He's getting ready to do a youth conference. We're hosting a youth conference for the state of Texas, TML, Texas Municipal League.
Okay.
And it's going to be here for 3 days, 2 or 3 days here in Beaumont, and we're excited about it. We've, I think there's already over 220 people registered for youth, with about 180 of them being youth, and the others being adults. So we're excited about that.
Okay. Before we get out of here, I want to ask you a couple more things. If you could accomplish one major goal during your tenure, what would that be?
Bring integrity to the system. Yeah, it's integrity's got to be there, because people don't trust what you're doing. None of the rest of it matters. You can't get things done. And that's not easy, because it's natural for people to doubt things. But my history and for what I've done, it's been built on integrity, where, some people here will say it's not, but my entire career has been built on integrity and being able to work, and people trust each other to get things done. And that's my goal. I've been president of the Texas City Managers Association. I got elected by my peers because they trusted me to run that organization. I've been I'm on International City Managers Association, which is a worldwide organization. 21 seats from around the world in 35 countries. And I was elected by my peers to that organization. So at some point, integrity has to kick in. And although some people will put doubts in your mind about it, I don't ever want anybody in Beaumont to think that I'm not going to do the right thing and do the right thing with integrity. Even if I have to take flack for it, I'm going to do what I think's best for this city at the time.
Can people reach out to you? Do they have to go through a process? The common citizen, is it an email, or can they call you, or how did that work? Can they talk to you, or they got to go through certain people to eventually get to you?
Hey, Floyd, I'm available. I'm available, Floyd.
Okay.
But there's sometimes there's the executive assistants up here. If they call directly to the office,
Hmm.
they'll get them too. But my email address is posted on the city and the city website and everywhere. So there's many. Hey, I'm accessible. I'll take appointments with anyone. We can get an appointment. I'll sit down and be glad to speak with somebody, whether to come where you are to speak or you can come by City Hall. We'll get you here. My thing is to be accessible. Is it difficult sometimes with a really busy schedule? Yes, but that doesn't mean we can't try to make it happen. And my goal is always to make it happen. Again, like I said, I don't go home every day. I don't quit working every day until I return every phone call.
Mm.
I try to return every email. It's difficult
Yeah.
with the emails, but that's my goal too. So uh, I want to be accessible, and if you want to get in touch with me, please do.
Um. Okay. Final thing. Anything you would like the citizens to know about you before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I guess I'm a, of course, have a family, 3 kids, all adults. I got adults, 4 grandkids who I love dearly. Cynthia, my wife Cynthia and I, we've been married 45 years.
Man.
Uh,
Okay. That's what's
that
up.
means we met in grade school, kindergarten somewhere.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
my parents
we
been
actually
together
met.
43 years, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been there together 45 years. I've I've been a basketball referee. I referee basketball for 30 plus years, 35. I
Okay.
referee college basketball, Division I college basketball. I used to come to Lamar back
Okay.
and even referee here. So that was a big thing for me. Um, just hey, I'm approachable. Don't mind talking with people. Enjoy
Uh,
what I do.
you don't play no golf?
Oh, play golf.
You
Yeah.
play golf, man. We gonna have to get out there one day, man. I just picked it up last year, so
Okay.
it's become a love of mine. I could say I
Okay.
got hooked on it, so
Oh, it's addicting.
it is addictive, man. So,
I love it. You'll probably beat me, but
oh no.
I'll be out there.
I mean,
I,
I'm getting there, but I don't think I'm good enough to beat anybody right now.
well, it's just being out there is the joy of it. It's just
Yeah,
the
without a
joy
doubt.
of being out there and being able to play it. And I love it. Also, Lord, enjoy traveling, enjoy reading.
Okay, yeah. I've been recently like as far as picking up books and stuff, trying to incorporate that into a hobby. So I've been trying to read like a couple books within a month and try to improve off of that and just keep, uh
Hmm.
just building up the if you want to say cabinet or you know, uh
Yeah.
books and stuff. So
Sometimes it's just hard to find the time, but
yeah, so
you do.
hey, I appreciate you coming on because I know you busy. It's a Friday. And man, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful and humbled that you came on the show.
Hey, thanks for the invitation. I really appreciate it. And anytime, just let me know.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Floyd.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. So look, man, that was Mr. Kenneth Williams, Beaumont City Manager. Uh, I think he's been a city manager since 2022. So if you missed any of the show, you can go back and watch the beginning of it. You can also watch it on YouTube. You can also listen to it on any audio platform as far as Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, such and such. But I think it's very important that we get to know people like him and others within our city so we can, have a feeling and, just get to know the people that are in important positions in our city. Because a lot of times you see and you hear people names, but you don't really know the person. You don't even know how they sound. You know, some people you don't even know how they look. So I think it's important to have these type of conversations and ask these questions. And you know, I appreciate Mr. Kenneth Williams for coming on, because you know, a lot of people, they won't come on. It's just how it is. You know, it's expected. They won't come on. They'll just, you know, they're fine with, you know, however they get through their job, or you know how it is. But I appreciate Mr. Kenneth Williams for coming on. Um Now next week, well, I ain't gonna say next week, but hey, Mr. Greg Boswick, he said he was coming on. I don't think he is, but he said he's gonna come on. But it is what it is. Hopefully he can come on. He could talk about this weather we've been having. But we'll see till then. Tomorrow I will be going live also. I think that'll be like 8 o'clock. So, you know, if y'all want to top in some topics, what's been going on throughout the city, because there's been some crazy things that have been happening throughout the city. So we're going to talk about those. If you want to call into the show, you can call into the show. I didn't put the number on here because I just want to have like a little one-on-one conversation with Mr. Williams. But the number's down below tomorrow. If you want to call in, if you want to talk about the show, if you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, you can call that number down below, 832-422-6330. And you could call in and you could chop it up with your boy. Tomorrow, next Friday, we got more guests. We got more conversations. But I appreciate everybody that was asking questions and everybody that was tuning in, man. What's this? What's she say? Can you please invite the fire chief? Oh, yeah. The fire chief, yeah. Tell him to lock in. Either tell him to tap in or I go tap in with him. It's either way, vice versa. If we could do both of them, then we could just meet middle in. But yeah, that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Let me hire at the fire chief. I think that'd be kind of cool too. Max Wien and EMS. Okay, for sure. Hey, tell them people to tap in. You got some people. You naming some people out there. Tell them to tap in. Tell them to hit me up. Why don't you inbox me or I'll inbox you, Shayla? We can make something happen. We'll chop it up after the show. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be positive. And y'all do not let the negative opinions on others stop whatever you got going on. All right. I love y'all. I'm out of here.